Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to DIY Buildouts. Today we're going to be doing our annual service on our 60 horsepower Mercury outboard that is attached to my boat. This servicing is oil change, gear case, fluid, and filter, and a couple other small things. I picked up the kit from partsview.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. It was like 130 bucks total for everything. So without further ado, let's just dive right into this. And this is applicable for 40 horsepower, 50 horsepower, and 60 horsepower 4-stroke Mercury outboards. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn the power onto your boat, mainly because you have to tilt the motor up to drain the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to remove my transom saver here, trim up. Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to have it kind of, you can see right here is the oil drain plug. I like to have the low part right here aimed down, and I'll do that by rotating the motor here. So I'll turn the wheel. Let's go this way. There we go. And trim it up a little bit more. There we go. And you're gonna want paper towels handy for this. I like wearing gloves, mainly because once you get all this oil and grime on your hands, it's just harder and harder to get it off. So some little Harbor Freight nitrile gloves can help. I'll throw those bad boys on here. I'm gonna pop the top on this unit as well and just set that aside. And when I do this, this is where you're gonna put oil in when you're all done. So pulling this out actually helps vent the oil coming down. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull this out so that air can flow all the way through when I drain the oil. I'm gonna set this guy right over here, nice and neat, out of the way. And this bolt is number 18, I believe. Yep, 18. And as soon as I start cranking on this guy, oil is gonna start coming out. Excuse me. My advice is, as you get closer, hold the pan up, because it's gonna shoot out of there, and then it's gonna make an arc, and slowly it's gonna change. So you're gonna have to adjust it. So have some paper towels ready, and just be prepared, I guess. It's nothing crazy, but if you wanna minimize some messes, this is how you do it. Oh, that's a little stiff. Oh gosh, that is way stiff. What happened there? I didn't put it on tight like that. Oh yeah, it's very loose now. All right, that was very stiff. So we're gonna go ahead and get this flowing out. I'll give you guys a nice shot like this. There we go. And just like that, we have our plug out. And I can lower this down to the ground to make sure that it catches everything. You do not want this all over your garage floor or driveway. But yeah, it does drip. So I wait until it kind of comes down. There it goes. Now it's kind of arcing in, which is good. And last year I did this outside of my driveway, and it was a bit of a mess because there was some wind, and the wind ended up blowing at the very end little bits of oil all over the place. So I can see I got some water or something in my oil there. That's not good, but it is not a lot of it. There we go. Set that down right there. Yeah, I like to inspect the oil. Oh, I guess those are just bubbles, never mind. Those are just bubbles. Yeah, here's your plug. Go ahead and clean the oil off my hand. And on the outside of this, I like to keep the seal nice and lubricated. You do want to inspect that. I believe the kit comes with a fresh seal, so I will likely replace that. But we'll get to that in a moment. So we'll set this guy down right there. Get a trash can available to me. All right. You can see it's still dripping out ever so slowly, so we're gonna let that whole thing come out. And then once it's all done, we will go ahead and put the bolt back in there and proceed. But let's open up this kit. Let's see what we're dealing with here. This kit comes with a whole gallon of oil and gear lube. And then it comes with the high and low pressure oil filter, I believe, and some gaskets. The thermostat gaskets. Yep. Everything we're gonna need in an oil filter. So this is good. Good, good, good. Open this guy up because we're gonna need this guy in just a moment. We'll replace it right here. Pull that off, and before we put this on there, we will dip our finger in some oil, coat it, and then put it on. It looks like there's, oh yeah, it's already been coated. Nice, they updated the seal on that. I like that. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Let's see what we're dealing with here. The parts bag. What kind of parts are we looking at? Oh, I'll keep this pair of scissors over here. Might need it. Still dripping, just a little bit. We're gonna give it all the time it needs. Thermostat. Fuel or oil filter, I forget which one that is. Oh, nice. And then some brand new gaskets, like I was saying before. These smaller ones are for the gear lube on the other side. So I will make that a separate video, but these three will go for here, here, and down here. So look for part 2. I will put a link in the description below for that. And that's for the gear lube. And this guy, we will go ahead and replace on here. Pretty stuck on there, huh? Looks like I gotta drip some oil. Nope, that's not oil, that's just dirt. Cool. All right. Get a flathead screwdriver. Go ahead and get that gasket off, like so. Just kind of work it around. While I do this, I like to look at the metal, make sure there's no broken off metal chunks or anything as a sign of damage to the engine. There is nothing wrong on this one. You can see it's clean and clear of all metal debris, so we don't have any internal issues, it appears. That's good. These gaskets are very stiff. There we go. Finally got it off. I'll take the new one. And there's already oil on here, so I think we're good in that sense. And I'll just go ahead and push it down. There we go. Got a fresh seal. I'll take some of the oil off of the bolt, put it on there, and wait for this guy to finish dripping. And while I do that, I will go ahead and open up the big jug of new oil that we will be using. I like to be careful opening these lids so I don't get fragments down in the oil, because I will be pouring it in my engine. So take your time and get the ring off there like that, nice and easy. And then you don't have debris everywhere. Can I reach it? Yeah, I can. There we go. Okay, so now I'll just take some of that oil and I'll coat it up on here. So we have fresh oil. I was definitely due for a service. I haven't changed this oil in about 1.5 years, mainly because I didn't change it in the fall. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is wipe this up and then put the plug in there. And then we will proceed. Paper towels are your friend. when it comes to this job. So let's wipe this up. Okay, just a little bit of dripping still happening. That's okay, we could put the bolt in there. Again, it's got some fresh oil on it. So we'll just hand tighten it for now, and then I'll give it a little quarter turn with the wrench in a moment. There we go. Okay, take the paper towel, do one more cleanup around the bolt and underneath it. Keep that oil in the engine and out of the water you're going to use or boat in. I'll take this guy, 18, a little turn. There we go. You don't have to wrench it down or anything like that. You just want to have it nice and snug, you know, just past finger tight. That way no oil comes out of there, it doesn't leak, and you will be good to go. So now that that's on there, the oil is done dripping out. We can go ahead and work on getting the oil filter out. So for this part, we can trim the motor back down. Might want to just move this out of the way ever so gently without spilling it, because when you put the motor down, you don't want the scag to hit it at the bottom. There we go, nice and easy. And I'm going to rotate the motor so that we can see more easily what we're doing here. All right, get it all the way opened up to us. Nice, there we go. Okay, so now we have the oil. Better put a cap on this before I kick it in my garage and make a mess. There we go, put that aside. Here's the oil filter. Sorry, I got a train going by, I can hear it. I'll take some paper towels, like 3 of them. What I like to do is bunch them up and just shove them back down in there a little bit. I also like to do some inspections. Looks like some water condensation in there. Everything else looks good. So we will go ahead and shove this down in there to catch any oil when I pull this filter off. And to pull this filter, you can use a ton of different things. I have had more luck personally with these little rubber straps that I picked up from Harbor Freight. They just slide in here like that, and you can adjust the size, and once you get it, you can turn it and crank on it. They have this nice little thing, so you gotta pay attention to how you put it on there. We are gonna be turning it this way, so I want it to be this. You just slide it on there like that, size it down to where you need it, then put the handle down like that and give it a little turn. This doesn't damage the filter like some other tools do, which is why I like it so much. It slides on it, but doesn't damage it. Come on, baby. Come on. I take that back. It did dent it. I've never done that before. This one's really stuck on there, probably because I haven't done it in a while. This is overdue. I just haven't used this boat recently. There we go. Now it's going with me. Nice and easy. There we go. There we go. I don't think it's going to be hand loose yet, so we'll give it one more go around. There we go. Now it should be. Yep. Set that right up there. Try to get this guy off as quickly as possible so any oil that does spill doesn't go everywhere. You can see right there I was able to do a pretty decent job getting it out without a mess. Put the towel there for now. This is the old one. Set this guy right there. We'll take the new oil filter and again, I just take my finger, dip it in some oil, and coat this seal well. And that just helps it really seal up so oil doesn't drip everywhere. And there she is. And again, for safety's sake, I'm not kicking that over. Go ahead and put the cap back on it. Now, so that oil dripped out, which is good. that I had that there. And we can go ahead and put this new filter on there. And it just twists on righty-tighty. All right, get it finger tight. And then we'll use the strap to give it an extra little quarter turn. Obviously having oily gloves on makes this a little more challenging, but you don't want to dent, you don't want to puncture this, okay? So whatever tool you use, don't apply so much force you puncture it, because then you've damaged it and you need a whole new filter anyway. So put this on here. And now since we're going the other way, we will put the strap on here this way. And then ever so gently, just apply some force to rotate it down. Oh, I guess I gotta have some room to turn it, huh? Let's put it up here like that. There we go. Pull it snug. Give it a nice little turn. There we go. That's it. No dents, no damage. Nice and secure. All right, so we've drained the oil out of here. Oops, got some, this whole paint. Drain the oil out of here, put a new filter on. Now we fill the oil up right here. And when you do this, put this guy back, I don't need it anymore. When you do that, you can trim the motor up like this. And if you're not using the one big jug, you can just pour the quarts right in there. And that makes it quite convenient. Pour this like that. There, we can get nice and upright. There you go. Okay, so that helps it get straight up and down. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is grab a filter, or I'm sorry, a funnel. And I still have my oil from last time. Feeling wise, I want to say there's a whole quart left in there. See if I can see it. Yep, 1 quart left. So this is 3.78 liters. It's more than this boat engine takes, but it's what comes in the kit. That's right, I need the funnel I was talking about, so let's go get that. All right. Always make sure your funnel is nice and clean. Whatever you're pouring over it will go into your engine. Looks like I have some oil residue from the last time I did this, but that is the only thing this thing has seen. So should be good. Yep, that's all. Just dried oil, we're good. So all I'm gonna do, hold this and pour some oil in there and try not to make a mess. And it's not rocket science, guys. You just go ahead and do this and you're good to go. And keep an eye on it as you do it, so you're not flooding your engine bay with oil if it's not going in smooth or anything. Give that a second to rest. Look at how much I have in there. Okay, so I've done about a quart. I think this takes 3 quarts, if I'm not mistaken. Check what are we at here. We're down to, that was another quart. Let's put 1 more in there. I'm just going by feel. When you hold these jugs, you can feel how much is left in them. So as you get closer, you just kind of check. You can always add engine oil. It's a lot harder to take it out. All right, we're gonna stop there because I'm just above the 1 quart location. It's a lot easier to add oil if you finish this job and find that you're still a little low. It's a lot harder to get oil out. Let that finish draining for a second. So my advice is underfill it just slightly, check your oil level, and then add more if you need to. All right. Oil, filter, and funnel. Everything looking good. Set that there. We'll put the cap back on here in just a moment, and we will check all of the fluid levels. So to check the fluid levels, all that oil has to penetrate into where it is going to rest. So give it a minute to settle into its operating level and fill in all the cavities and the filter and everything that you were going to expect it to lubricate. Put the cap back on there. And to check the fluid or the oil level, what you do, you take this little stick, you flip it up, you pull it out, you wipe it clean. The first time you pull it out, it's gonna have oil on it. So now it is clean. You can see these little readings on there, say add and max and everything. So what I'm gonna do is put it back in there and pull it out. We're gonna look, and there we go. We are right here. So we are not at max. We can certainly add a little more, and I'm going to just to get it up to that max line. I like a little more oil in my engine. So let's go ahead and add just a little bit more. Like I said, it's a lot easier to do this adding than taking away. So go slow. Take your time and get your oil level right. It'll be there for you all season if you take care of it appropriately in the beginning. Put the funnel in there. And I knew I slightly underfilled it in the beginning, but like I said, that was intentional. There we go. Because you can always add oil a lot easier than you can take it away. Grab this funnel towel. And it's still dripping pretty hard there, so give it a second to finish doing all that. Okay. The boat was definitely due for an oil change. You can see the difference in clarity in that new oil versus that old oil. I feel bad that it sat. That's not the way I like to keep my toys, but it fell on the back burner because of life and kids and everything else. So, all right. I think I'm gonna guess that we're good, so I'm putting the cap back on here on the assumption that we're now at a perfect oil level and I won't have to add any more, but let's give it a second to level off. Grab a fresh paper towel. Again, pull this out, wipe it clean. Put it back in and then pull it out. Get your reading. Okay, came up slightly. Could still use a little more if we really wanted to. Oop, that one came out with oil on the side, so. There we go. There's a good reading. Just below max. That should be a good level. And I have extra oil, so after I run it a couple times, I will come back, check the oil level, and I may add more because it will start to lubricate all those parts and fill up in different locations. And then I can add a little more oil to the unit as needed. But ladies and gentlemen, that is how you change the oil on your 4-stroke 60 horsepower Mercury outboard. Drain plug, drain it out, and have this vent open for proper drainage. Put the plug back in, pull the filter out, lubricate, put the new filter on, add oil here, check the oil level when you're all done, and now check out the link below or in the upper corner of this video, if I can figure out how to do that, to how we change the gear lube in the lower unit. All right, that's all for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.